Hey guys, Everything Technology here, and this is the first shatterproof smartphone other than the Nokia 3310, of course, if you do know what that is. But anyway, here is my review on the Motorola Droid Turbo 2. So the Droid Turbo 2 looks very familiar because it looks like some of Motorola's latest devices, such as the Moto X Pure Edition. So it has a nice curved back, which feels really comfortable to hold, and it's also really grippy. It has a nice metal frame, and you can't forget that signature Motorola dimple on the back. What truly sets it apart design-wise from its previous predecessor is the fact that it's now compatible with Moto Maker. With Moto Maker, you could basically customize the phone to however you want it to look. You could customize the back, front, accents, and even add an engraving to the phone. This is extremely useful if you're very picky of how you want the phone to look like. And one of my favorite things about the design of this phone is definitely those front-facing speakers. So Motorola included two front-facing speakers on the bottom of the phone instead of having one on the top as well as the bottom. This makes the phone look a little bit weird looking at it from the front. The chin is really big and overall looks really ugly, but the speakers do sound really good and they don't distort on high volumes. Anyway, that's enough for design. Let's talk about durability, which is the most important part about the smartphone. So if you don't already know, this phone is advertised by Motorola as the first shatterproof smartphone. And in fact, I've seen more YouTube drop test videos than there are of reviews, which is pretty funny. But as crazy as it sounds, this actually is a shatterproof smartphone. It's probably not the first, but it's definitely the latest and greatest one as of now on. Instead of glass, Motorola decided to use flexible plastic, and in fact, the display itself is flexible. So every time you drop the phone, those three different layers of plastic, as well as the display, absorbs the shock of the smartphone. And in fact, if you actually try to hit this phone with a hammer, instead of the phone cracking, you'll actually get a dent on your phone. Stepping aside that, Motorola also added a water repellent coating, so if you were to drop a glass of water onto your phone, you'll be completely fine. But remember I said water repellent, not waterproof, so don't even try to submerge your phone completely underwater unless it's an accident. Display-wise, the Droid Turbo 2 has a 5.4-inch 1440p display, giving it a whopping 540 ppi. This is definitely not the brightest Super AMOLED screen I've ever seen, but it's still enjoyable to use outside. Moving on, it's really nice that Motorola did include a micro SD card slot, which you can expand up to 200 gigabytes. I personally don't use it because all I do on my phone is surf the web and get on social media and play some games such as Modern Combat 5, and that's basically it. But for those people who do watch a lot of movies, listen to a lot of music, and play games a lot on their phone, then this is definitely something that you would like. And since I did talk about playing Modern Combat 5, let's talk about the specs that makes this possible. This phone has a Snapdragon 810 CPU, an Adreno 430 GPU, and 3 gigabytes of RAM. With all this, the phone runs very smoothly. Speaking of software, this is running on Android Lollipop, soon to be upgraded to Marshmallow, and this is mostly a stock experience, but every once in a while you will see Motorola's touch to it, such as in Moto Assist, and in there you can find my favorite feature on this phone, and that's being able to launch a camera app by twisting the phone on both directions really fast. This is extremely useful if you're in a hurry and you're trying to take a nice picture. On top of that, it has a customized camera app, which I really don't like because you can't really touch to focus to take the picture. Instead, if you tap the screen, it's actually just gonna take the picture instead. It doesn't give you the feature of focusing. It's just auto on everything. I don't like that at all. It kind of sucks. Since we're talking about the camera app, let's talk about the camera itself. So this phone has a 21 megapixel back-facing camera with an f2.0 aperture, which is capable of recording 4K videos at 30 FPS. It also has a front-facing 5 megapixel camera, which is capable of recording 1080p videos. So in terms of camera quality, this has the same exact sensor as of the one on the Moto X Pure Edition, and as you know, it's definitely Motorola's best camera, period. This is comparable to some of the flagship devices that were launched in its year, such as the LG G4 and Galaxy S6. This camera has okay dynamic range, pictures come out pretty sharp, and as for low light, like all smartphone cameras, you will see grain, but you will experience a little bit more problems because this is lacking OIS. This phone probably has the best battery life I've ever had on any phone other than the Galaxy S6 Active. As you know, I'm a student and I go to school for about 7 hours. By the time I get home, I'll probably have like 50% of battery left over for the next day. So on a normal day, like I said, 7 hours, and I would have about 5 hours of on-screen, and I'll continue using that phone for the whole day until I'm about to head to sleep, so I'll just throw the phone into the charger. But on a weekend, when I'm barely using the phone, it can easily pull off 2 days, which is amazing. And anyway, concluding, the Droid Turbo 2 is one of my favorite phones. If I didn't own it, I would want to pick this phone up because of the amazing battery life, which is valued these days. And if you're a person in the family who's known for shattering phones and is looking for something solid with great battery life, then you can't go wrong with Motorola's Droid Turbo 2. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to leave me a thumbs up down below, and also comment down below if you have any feedback, and subscribe to see more content like this. Bye.